talking like in the party, yeah. Face niggas try me, yeah. I rock Balenciaga with Tommy, yeah. Pull that cause behind me, yeah. These little niggas they.
We finally back with part 2. I told y'all it was coming Monday. It's fucking Monday. It's posted. We ain't even gonna waste no time. We're gonna get right into it. Part 2. Part 2, the story of TB, aka Bico. Let's get it.
After the murder of his childhood friend Capo, it was fairly quiet out on the street between Tyquan World and their rivals. However, both sides were still active and shot up each other's hoods back and forth. DB and Bubba were Tyquan World's most active members in 2015. At one point they shot up 600 at a block almost every week together. They were extremely close around this time. Although no bodies were dropped after Capo, Tyquan World managed to shoot several members from 600 O Block and Front Street. In March 2015, Joey from A Block was shot in the face by LC from Tyquan World. Fortunately, Joey survived the shot, but the bullet went through his right eye and tragically blinded him. Tyquan World gave LC the nickname LC Leave Them Blind after the incident. Towards the end of 2015, it started to get really hot between Tyquan World and 600. In September 2015, Tyquan World was close to equalizing the score with 600. It is rumored that Lil Bubba caught Bite Down from 600 on his bicycle on a street and shot him 2 or 3 times. Bite Down luckily survived the shooting, and later that year, Bite Down shot up a car filled with Tyquan World members. Later in December, Lil Twan shot both Michi and Quano from Front Street in a block. Both survived. However, the next year, 2016, would top 2015, because bodies started to drop. Tyquan World established itself further, and O Block actually began to see Tyquan World as a threat.
Do this look dumb? The hoodie with the headphones on top. Cause it's comfortable, but I feel like it look dumb as hell. Nah, it's cool.
However, they were still not that worried about them. The more experienced members who already had bodies under their belts like D-Roy, E-Dog, BJ, Duke and Gleesh still focused more on Jaro City and STL/EBT, while the younger members like DQ, Muwap and Cheno had to take care of Tyquan World, but that would change after 2016.
Hold on, y'all, my fault. The fuck? What did I just say? Oh. Okay. Hold on, I'm about to pull a card. Hold on. My guy. You're done. You're not getting out, buddy. You're done for. You're done. Hope I'm looking at that nigga right. Niggas is crazy.
Now we have come to the year 2016, and you can actually describe that year with one sentence. Tyquan World, STL/EBT and Jaro City gave a block, Front Street and 600 Hell in 2016. They literally torched them, mostly for what they did while King Bun was out, dropping P5, Boss Trail, KI and Model. The gang that probably went most crazy out of the three was Tyquan World, and not least DB, who became one of the most feared members from their side after allegedly catching 3 bodies in the same year. So much happened in 2016, and in order not to confuse anything, I will go through everything in chronological order. In June 2016, the 17th to be exact, it is rumored that TB caught his second body, this time on Nico Gang. It is rumored Nico Gang had been shooting at Tyquan World members earlier in 2016, and one of the shooters was apparently a member named Melvin, also known as Melvo. Tyquan World, who did not quite take Nico Gang that seriously since they mostly consisted of shorties, therefore decided to try to catch a member from Nico Gang. It is rumored that DB and Lil Daryl from Jaro City were the ones who took on the task of trying to kill a member of Nico Gang. On June 17, 2016 they succeeded. Melvo was sitting in a car together with his friend in an alley in the 6500 block of South Hamilton Avenue. DB and Lil Daryl allegedly walked up to the car and asked them where they were from. According to the friend in the car, Melvo replied, "I'm not about that." Then DB and Lil Daryl allegedly opened fire and shot Melvo in the head. His friend luckily managed to get out of the car and escape the situation without any harm. DB and Lil Daryl fled the scene and were never caught. Melvo, 16, whose real name was Melvin Cook, who lived in the 5700 block of South Calumet, was pronounced dead at the scene at 9:27 p.m. Melvin's mother, Lakeisha, was totally broken after she found out about the shooting. She said, "I do not know what to do. I do not know how I'm going to bury him. I just bought a plane ticket to Mississippi, and now he's dead." Exactly 1 month after the murder of Melvo, it was time again. DB was, according to rumors, yet again involved in murder that took place on July 17, 2016. This time, a body from a block was dropped. I'm talking about the murder of BJ's little brother, Cheno. However, there is a lot of controversy surrounding this murder, as members of a block believe that Tyquan World and STL/EBT had nothing to do with the murder of Cheno, which they also said about Big A, which turned out to be true. G.I. Joe and Can't Get Right had nothing to do with the murder of Big A, which Muwap pointed out in a discussion with Richie Jerk from Twitter in 2017. Just as I have mentioned in previous videos, take my videos with a grain of salt. Not everything is true. It's all rumors.
That's cool,
However,
my nigga. This shit
I will
interesting
still
as
tell the
fuck.
theory that STL/EBT and Tyquan World were actually the ones who got Cheno, as well go through what argues that it was not them, and that it was actually No Love City who got him. Cheno was walking with his girlfriend in the 5700 block of South Union Avenue, which is MOE No Love City territory, and actually the street where King Von's sister Kayla grew up. A car pulled up, and according to Cheno's former teacher, who made a post about his death, they asked Cheno where he and his friend could get some weed. Cheno is said to have answered, "I have no idea." Then they exchanged some more words, and the one he was talking to pulled up a gun and shot him in the chest. Cheno fell to the ground and his girlfriend ran in panic from the scene. Moments later, the other man in the car took the gun and hopped out of the car and emptied the rest of the clip into Cheno's chest. Cheno was found lifeless at the scene and taken to St. Bernard Hospital, where he sadly was ultimately pronounced dead.
That boy had big as hell. RP dude though. I'm not reading that. Sorry. Y'all gotta read that.
The first theory, and the theory that most people know about, is that it was Tyquan World that killed Cheno. According to that theory, No Love City members spotted Cheno and gave Tyquan World the drop on him. Then Poppy, DB and Can't Get Right got in traffic and spotted him. Poppy was allegedly the one that pulled out his gun and shot Cheno in the chest, and that DB was the one who jumped out of the vehicle and emptied the rest of the clip into Cheno's chest. It is rumored that he did that due to the fact that he had personal issues with Cheno, and had even mentioned him in several tweets 2 months before the murder. What suggests that this theory is true is that there is Facebook posts from a block members, friends and family that is mocking Poppy and saying RIP to Cheno the same day Poppy was killed, and the day after. It is very common for members to say RIP to friends when their killers die. It does not have to mean that it is actually the killer. It can also mean that they have taken revenge by killing one of their members. But just as we saw after the murder of King Von, where several members and families said RIP to Von's alleged victims, it usually means that their killer is dead. What contradicts this theory, however, is that Cheno would never have stood and talked that way with Poppy, DB and Can't Get Right. He would have recognized them immediately and run away, because he knew who they were and what they looked like. However, this argument depends a lot on whether it is actually true what the teacher said about them exchanging words seconds before he was shot.
How did the teacher know? I might have missed something. Fuck, man, I'm tired as hell.
The second theory, just as I mentioned in the previous paragraph, is that it was No Love City who actually got Cheno. According to that theory, it was Juju and Zoe from No Love City that killed Cheno in their own territory. What supports this theory is that Cheno's ex-girlfriend, TK, openly wrote on Twitter that Zoe killed Cheno. Days after the murder of Cheno, several tweets from both members from 600 and O Block indicated that it was NLC and Zoe who were behind the murder. Just a day after the murder,
come on, bro.
It was No Love City who actually got Cheno in their own territory. What supports this theory is that Cheno's ex-girlfriend, TK, openly wrote on
Does it look like I'm playing a fucking game?
Twitter that Zoe killed Cheno. Days after the murder of Cheno.
Yeah, just skipped the whole damn sentence. Nigga.
Several tweets from both members from 600 and O Block indicated that it was NLC and Zoe who were behind the murder. Just a day after the murder, Muwap tweeted, FMOE. However, a member from MOE responded to the tweet, and said that MOE had nothing to do with it. Just days after the murder, Waldo from 600, and Man from a Block also started writing to Zoe from NLC on Twitter and wrote, "People will get up with you." However, there is quite a lot that speaks against this theory. The first thing that speaks against it is that O Block and NLC are hardly enemies. Both Cheno and his brother BJ are both originally from No Love City and have a lot of family there. Both Boss Top and Big also came from NLC. Both Boss Top and BJ still have contact with some people from NLC. Cheno was often out with friends in NLC's territory. He had several pictures from the street where he was killed. It does not make any sense to me why NLC would kill him. Like I said, they are barely enemies. They may not be cool with each other like that since Lamron and a Block are tight, but bodies have never been dropped between the two and no shots have been sent. What seems most likely to me is that Zoe, who was close to STL/EBT and Tyquan World, gave Cheno's location to Can't Get Right, who got in traffic with DB and Poppy. Like I said before, DB had personal issues with Cheno since Cheno shot DB's cousin Young in the back. What is also strange is that after the murder of Cheno, Chino Gang on 57 and Low was formed, which was created by a group of GDs who is cool with O-Block. That may be the reason why King Von, in a live stream on Instagram, said that Low is cool.
Damn, who the fuck just snitched like that? Ooh, that was on the ass, my boy. That nigga duck is huge. Nigga, is this Duke? Or do we start this on this No, I think that's white, ain't it? Who the fuck is Shorty ass? Motherfucking fucking never mind.
You on 63rd, gang. You bogus.
They got big roaches in Parkway.
I'm phoning this fucked up on 62nd, 63rd.
They got some nice little models on the
And no love, dirty as hell, ain't lame as hell.
No love is not dirty. Now that's fine.
GD ass
That's
hood.
what's up.
That shit lame as hell, blah.
No love is lame, but we
Yeah.
dirty. No love. They clean as hell.
Which part of no love you talking about?
I'm from 59, nigga.
What street?
Union.
Lame as fuck, okay? I thought you was gonna say M. You should have said lower M. What's some of
Hey, Top, he trying to go on low.
Low cool. That's the only one.
Nigga, I'm from all, I used to.
DB was extremely active
Nigga, her
throughout
ass from
2016.
everywhere.
Probably the most active
Word.
member from both Tyquan World and STL/EBT. 1 month after Cheno was killed, DB caught just below from 600. He shot at him and tried to chase him down. Luckily, without success. The next month, in September, DB was extremely close to catching his fourth body. It is rumored that TB caught Mano from Front Street and shot him in his face. Fortunately, Mano miraculously survived the shooting. Mano has today left the criminal life after his brother, Jamo from Mob, sadly got killed by Get Back Gang the following year, 2017. Another member from Tyquan World who was also close to catching a body that month was DB's close friend Poppy, who is rumored to have caught Jock from 800 off guard, shooting him in his chest. 800 is a set that basically has war with everybody. Jock was mocking
Them
Big D
niggas
on
tripping.
Facebook, which led to the shooting. Jock luckily survived. 2 times from Tyquan World actually mentioned this incident in his Crazy Story remix in 2018. Later in November 2016, it is rumored that Duck shot D-Roy in the hand. Tyquan World, Jaro and STL/EBT really were going crazy. The month after T-Roy was shot in the hand, in December, DB would catch his fourth body, the third and final body of the year, and it was yet again a member affiliated with
Nigga of the year. Thought he was done. Didn't that nigga just get locked up? I remember seeing something about that. Nigga, we could barely see his face. Get a better picture next time. Nigga in the middle look like he do not belong. My boy, you look like him. If you're watching this, I'm talking about you. I'm not gonna say no names. He is you. You are him.
Got the drop on this goofy nigga. 30 on the block, we let out shots. Almost hit his top. Heard that was a job. The fuck was you doing right there trying to stand on the beat?
Bro.
Like one getting popped, but I'm just saying. But I ain't trying to snitch on my mans. The rest up King Papa Dot. And that's folks twin, so I'm.
Now we come to TB's last alleged body of the year. I'm talking about the murder of Lil Chris from MetLife, O Block. The reason I wrote both O Block and MetLife is simply because Lil Chris pretty much claimed both. MetLife is considered by many a mix of members from A Block, 600 and Front Street. I will make a video only about the history of MetLife in the future. Lil Chris lived in Parkway Gardens but was never an official member of A Block. Chris mostly claimed the buildings, 6,217, which is MetLife. His father and cousin Guan also claimed MetLife and were also BDs. Chris also had a brother, Carlito, who is a member from A Block, and his cousin D Nice, who is Guan's brother, also claim A Block. Chris was also the cousin of Shaq, blessed his ass and Hudo from 600. Lil Chris was close with several people from A Block like Ocho and BJ. This affiliation, and with him living in Parkway, was the main reason why he got killed. In late 2016, just 4 days before the new year began, Lil Chris was sadly shot to death inside Parkway Gardens. Chris, 23, whose real name was Christopher D. Brown, was walking in the 6,400 block of South King Drive just after 5 p.m. when two people approached and fired 2 shots, which of one striking him in the head. Chris was sadly pronounced dead on the scene. The 2 people who ran up on him are rumored to have been G.I. Joe and, yeah, I think you can guess, DB. About a dozen people crowded near the crime scene tape as officers investigated the shooting. Brown's body, covered by a wide sheet, lay on the ground between 2 buildings. Several residents watched from their balconies and windows.
Bro, I keep fucking reading
Others
ahead,
stood
bro.
outside in the cold. One woman, who said she has lived in Parkway Gardens housing for about a year, said she heard 2 gunshots before police arrived. I can't believe I'm sitting here looking at a dead body, she said. Another resident who was arriving home from work stood outside. She said she moved to Parkway Gardens about 6 months ago, but doesn't allow her young son to play outside. This is just the wrong neighborhood to hang out in. This is sad, she said. Too many lives are getting lost over here, in just this one complex.
If it get too fast, I'm changing it back. I just found out about this nigga, and he had posted this nigga right here. He had posted I think it was a snippet. Look, hold on. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Never mind, I'm tripping. Wrong nigga.
Now we have come to the year 2017, which is pretty much the endgame of this story. This year will go down as one of the
Talk to
bloodiest
me, my
years
boy.
between OB600 and Tyquan World, Jaro and STL/EBT, much thanks to TB allegedly catching his fifth body, which was not just anyone. Most people probably already know by now who I am referring to. Of course I'm talking about a block's biggest loss of all time, together with King Von, D-Roy. As you already know, D-Roy was an outstanding member from a block, a small guy with the heart of a lion. D-Roy and King Von, who were best friends, were one of the deadliest duo in Chicago around that time. Both are rumored to have had 5 to 7 bodies each, and really carried a block throughout difficult times when STL/EBT and Jaro were passing out a lot of smoke. Just like I mentioned earlier in the story, DB had roots in Paxtown since his dad was an OG from there, and also had cousins in that area. DB also lived in the 7000 block of South Paxton, which is only a few blocks away from where T-Roy was killed. T-Roy and TB knew about each other before it all went down. Obviously TB knew about D-Roy since he was a high-profile member from a block, and T-Roy knew about DB after catching body after body in 2016, along with DB being a rapper and had released his most famous song, Tyquan Way, in January 2017. A month before the murder, DB had also mocked T-Roy.
What he talking about on that song? Hold on. Wasn't good. No, I'm just playing. I only listened to a couple seconds.
On his tweet. Both were out after each other. DB wanted to get rid of arguably the most high-profile member from a block, and T-Roy wanted to put DB in his place and show both DB and Tyquan World who was the real hitter. There has for a long time been rumored that D-Roy was in Paxtown looking for TB the day he was killed. Whether that's true or not I do not know. However, Lil Twan from Tyquan World in his song 62 Dead Ops indicated that it is actually true when he rapped, "Heard T-Roy got hit, why the fuck he was trying to lurk."
Heard T-Roy got hit. Why the fuck he was trying to lurk? Say he tried to run, but he wind up tripping on that big ass shirt.
On Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2017, DB caught his fifth body. T-Roy's life would end, and TB pretty much got his death warrant. T-Roy was walking on the 2000 block of East 71st Street in the South Shore area, allegedly looking for TB. DB had several pictures of him standing on the exact street, and especially outside a sports shop on that street. That day, T-Roy was out by himself looking for DB and decided to go to the street where he had seen pictures of DB, to see if he was there. It is then rumored to have been Brick from STL/EBT who spotted him and called TB to give him T-Roy's location. It was no wonder that it was Brick who spotted D-Roy because Brick, just like DB, lived in Paxtown around that time. When TB got the call, he picked up 2 times and can't get right and went to the location, but D-Roy, who was on full alert since he was lurking, spotted them and upped his gun on them and tried to chase them down. DB and the others ran and got away and went to their apartment, grabbed guns and dressed up completely black. They went back to the location and spotted T-Roy going into the store. DB waited until he was inside and then ran to the door, opened it, spotted T-Roy, who did not have time to react or up his gun, and DB shot him in chest and fled the scene with can't get right and 2 times. The whole hit went down like a cat and rat game. First T-Roy was out looking for DB. Brick spotted D-Roy and called DB who came with CGR and 2 times. T-Roy spotted them and tried to chase them down. They got away and went back to their apartment, and went back to the location with loaded weapons, dressed in all black and shot D-Roy. DB and the others were actually close to abandoning the mission. It was a huge risk. D-Roy was on full alert and it could have ended up the other way around, but it didn't. T-Roy, 23, whose real name was James Johnson, was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in critical condition with a gunshot wound to the chest, and was later sadly pronounced dead.
Who the fuck is that? Yo, my boy, the names. What's going on?
In a hole, we ain't know where to go. So I walk up and see folks, we was in the store. We ain't high up, folks said they don't go. White told them, they're like, whiskey. Pretty folks like all black.
No free promo this way, my boy.
motherfucker run up on me, I will shoot you. No problem. I will fucking shoot you. Yes, I will. So if you see me, it ain't no shit. Leave me the fuck alone.
Damn, they on here talking about what you think about T-Roy getting popped. Damn, T-Roy got popped? When did that happen? When did T-Roy get popped? Damn, somebody popped him. Is he dead? Is he dead? Did he die? Damn, merchant, they popped T-Roy. It must don't be, it must ain't that important shit. It ain't all over the internet. I ain't see it. Shit. He must not be dead.
You know, I'm gonna figure this shit out. Just be cool out there. I call folks. It's like, this on like Valentine's Day, you see what I'm saying? I call folks and shit. I call. Now, I call my mama. My mama call. Now we try to call T-Roy, she ain't answer. We try to call T-Roy, ain't answer. When. What I do? I gotta call somebody. I probably call a hoe or something. I call a Zaria, so I call a bitch or something. I call a hoe. Then, wham, I call my mama back. And she crying and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What you crying for? You good? You know what I'm saying? She, ooh, they shot T-Roy. T-Roy got, what? Ooh, what? Look at the phone. You know how that shit go. You in jail, you can tell. Hold on, what? Now we called, no matter what's going on. He got hit one, some shit. I'm damn, what the fuck going on out there? I'm T-Roy got shot, look, this the thing, y'all don't know T-Roy. Y'all gotta leave out history of T-Roy, y'all don't know. T-Roy got to go further, that's T-Roy. That's T-Roy, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know T-Roy like I know T-Roy, you know what I'm saying? So now he get shot on. The fuck he don't want to tell me like, don't be lacking, don't be, you know? He was on me, he used to be on, each other, you know what I'm saying? Cause me and him, we back to back, my boy, you know what I'm saying? Both got shot, I said, hold on. I said, the streets, hold on. Who got shot, who? Nah, he a gangster, he got shot before, he a gangster. I said, folks ain't make it, I'm phoning him out. I play it out, you know me, you gotta play it out. You in jail, all type of goofy ass niggas around, you know these niggas thirsty, these niggas. All of your business on King Day, I walk it off. I let it sit in, Now my homie from out west, I fuck some niggas out west, Willie D and them and nigga Junior on phone them. I fuck with them niggas hard on King Day, same game. Now they see me, I'm just walking around in circles on the deck, you know? And they put their arm around me, and I'm like, damn, you good, bro? You good? What's wrong with you, Vaughn? Yeah, I'm good. Ooh, what's wrong? You got a phone, man? I'm good, you know? Hey, what happened? I mean, they just killed T-Roy. Ooh, he what? Hey, I'm T-Roy. They just killed T-Roy. Oh, I got to break it down on King Day, that shit. I couldn't help it. They hugging me. These some real niggas. You know what I'm saying? We grown ass men. Folks grab me to hold me and shit. You get to there, you gonna be alright, shorty. You gonna be alright. Oh, hold on, boy. That's my best friend, boy. Somebody just killed my best friend while I'm in jail. I'm in that bitch gonna go crazy. Oh, I'm in that bitch. Don't know what's going on. I'm in that bitch getting that. Who the fuck is y'all? I'm in that bitch mad on. Oh yeah, I'm in that bitch getting that. Nah, not my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that bitch getting that if he get got. There ain't a lot of hope for a lot of niggas cause he be. Y'all know how folks see his man. Niggas know T-Roy. Oh, niggas know T-Roy. Oh, let me see who. The guys just look like, ooh, this nigga preaching on. Oh, no trip, you know.
Tyquan World did not stop here. 2 months later, in April, Tyquan World shot Bico, Manny and Porky from 600, and later on shot Domo from 600. But as you all know, the consequences of the murder of T-Roy would be horrific. Get Back Gang was created and dropped body after body on Jaro, STL/EBT and Tyquan World. It came out pretty quickly who it was who allegedly killed T-Roy. DB was self-snitching in songs where he said things like, "Oh Block Savage, watch him die like 600 times," along with, "Get Back Gang my best work," and tweets saying, "Y'all won't ever get back. FBG brick wrapped, play with my brothers, I make one phone call." Had Bico get back on that bullshit in the song Leave Em right there just a couple of months after the murder. But just like I said, the consequences would be horrific. The older members from a block who already had bodies under their belts, along with a couple of lion-hearted shorties, formed Get Back Gang. People like E-Dog, Duke, Capfuck12, Gleesh, Moo-Wop, DQ, Macado, and not least D-Roy's little brother HK, started to turn up. Only 3 months after the murder of D-Roy, Get Back Gang killed Lil Ho from Jaro City. 1 month later, Jamo from Mob was killed. A month after that, HK killed TB's close friend Poppy from Tyquan World, with a bullet to his head. Almost exactly 1 month later, both FBG Duck's brother Brick from STL/EDT and his cousin Kobe Mac from Tyquan World were killed.
Bro, this
Bodies
nigga
were
skipping
really dropped
sentences
like flies.
again?
Hobby 600 made sure to get the job done on every hit, no mistakes, and 3 months later, HK got what he promised, revenge for his brother's death.
Do you even know what the fuck you yelling? Whole block savage, watch him back 600 times. True, 40 for sure, yes, work, get back, ain't my best work to WSB, we won't make rules.
Right, she laugh herself. Right. She gon' laugh. She gon' laugh.
DB was totally heartbroken after his day one friend Poppy was shot and killed on June 16, 2017. Duke and HK found out his whereabouts and pulled to the location. HK allegedly got out of the dark-colored vehicle and shot Poppy in the head, who was later pronounced dead on the hospital. DB's former teacher I told you about earlier attended Poppy's together with DB, and that was the last day she saw him. She wrote that she was mad at him and was almost shook when she saw him walking at Poppy's wake and made some rude noise and muttered some inappropriate words. Terry left quickly that night. As Poppy's funeral ended the next day, the teacher wrote that she knew she had to talk to Terry. As she looked at him deep into his eyes and told him she was mad at him, she loved him just the same. Jesus would forgive him, she said, and that he could and should come to North Carolina with her and start his life all over again. He prayed with her. Terry never denied a prayer for him or with him. They hugged, but not for long enough. Both cried as they stood there, mostly for Poppy, and for how hard life was and how your choices do not always feel like an actual choice. She wrote that she knew that DB had lost hope, and so did she. I personally think DB knew it was coming. He saw his friends being dropped all around him, and knew that it was him they mainly were after.
You see, I be in that bitch all the time, Lola. Don't I pop?
I'm playing. Oh, yeah? You mean that bitch with you, bro? BDK, man. You already know me and my 10 year, my brother right here.
You sit out. Sit out. This shit over.
Pass me that dope. You pass me that Dutchie. He's smoking out the Dutch.
That teacher a real nigga. For real. She damn near risking her life to help this nigga.
On September 26, 2017, DB's time would sadly come. DB was out with Side from Jaro City in the 7000 block of South Chapel Avenue, which is a 3-minute walk from where he dropped T-Roy. I think DB would have survived longer if he stopped hanging out in that area. It was not smart of him to be there. O'Block knew where to look for him, just as T-Roy knew. I'm pretty sure this was not the first time HK was out in that area looking for TB. I'm pretty sure he had been looking for TB for weeks around those streets. On September 26th, he finally got him. With the help of Moose Block giving out TB's location, HK, Mac Otto and Gleesh got in traffic. They drove to the location and spotted TB inside. It is rumored that HK and Makoto jumped out of the car. HK shot DB in the head and Makoto shot side in the head and went back to the car and sped away from the scene.
Fucking dickhead.
DB, only 21 years old, of the 7000 block of South Paxton, was pronounced dead at 1:23 p.m. at Northwestern Hospital. Side, however, luckily and miraculously survived the headshot, but was sadly killed with motor 2 years later. Rest in peace both. Just like always when a high-profile member is killed, and especially when the member that a block was really out looking for was killed, it pours in mockery and disrespectful comments towards the person who was killed, in this case, DB. When TB died, it was also fully confirmed that he was the one who allegedly killed T-Roy. Lil Gerald tweeted several tweets saying, "Long live T-Roy Slayer." LC from Tyquan World called him Mr. T-Roy Slayer, and that he became a legend after he did that hit, which says a lot about what a big heart and courage, both for good and evil, DB had in the streets to take out such a high-profile member as T-Roy. Get Back Gang continued their murder spree after the death of TB. Just 2 days later, they killed Fredio from Jaro City. However, 2 months after the murder of DB, it is rumored that Tyquan World got their revenge when Lil Cho, Wooski and Skinny killed HK inside Parkway Gardens. However, a lot of people, including HK's family, are saying that this is not true and that HK was killed by other BEDs, but that story is for another video. It was fairly quiet on the streets after HK's murder, but Get Back Gang was not done. In the summer of 2018, it is rumored that Duke and Muwap dropped Can't Get Right from STL/EBT. 4 months later, Dusky from Mob was killed by 600, followed by Waldo being killed by Mob the day after. The murder of Dusky led to Wooski, along with 5 other people, getting shot at Dusky's funeral. Just 3 days into the new year, 2019, both Motor and Side from Jaro City were killed. 3 months after that, Jayski from the front street was killed, allegedly by Lil Rob from Jaro City and 2 times from Tyquan World. In early 2020, DQ's brother Jado was killed, allegedly by Lil Bubba and D-Money from Tyquan World. O'Block Shorties later killed FBG Duck in the summer. 2 of the shooters were allegedly C-Thang and T-Roy, Slutty and HK's brothers Al, and just a month ago, D-Money from Tyquan World was killed. This pretty much sums up the events of recent years. Tyquan World is still active, probably more active than STL/EBT in Jaro City. Much of the beef that is going on now is between O'Block Shorties and Tyquan World Shorties.
So fucking tired, bro. How much longer? Alright, we'll finish this for sure. Nigga wouldn't even know what to talk about. Man, this nigga up here speak for himself. Nigga, that video was crazy. I remember seeing it. I'm pretty sure that shit's still on Reddit. Just look up "Can't Get Right" Reddit on Google. It should pop up. Yeah. Who the fuck's funeral is this?
About 4 months after the murder of Can't Get Right, it is rumored that it was Wooski and Nella from Hottie Way, who was close to putting away one of CGR's killers for good. It is rumored that Duke from O Block was out in traffic on a bike on 61 and Langley, when shots started to let off towards him. 7 shots were heard according to Spot News. Duke was hit in the leg and luckily managed to escape the situation. STL/EBT will probably not get such a good chance to catch him again. Duke coming out of jail in April and will be over. Duke, along with E-Dog, Muwap and DQ are at the top of the list for STL/EBT and Jaro. They are really desperate to get them because of what they did for Get Back Gang after the murder of T-Roy. Now the story of Terry Berry is over. Usually I make a small description of the person at the end of my videos, but in this video I actually intend to use TB's old teacher's description of DB, since she actually knew him. Her name was Sarah. Terry was kind. He was the kind of guy that would see me struggling with a baby stroller and MJ, and rush over and carry it down my stairs for me. Many days after I left the ministry and moved down the street, I'd come out my front door and find him and Poppy sitting there on my porch. As long as we knew each other and were familiar as we were, he never dropped the Miss from the front of my name. The kids at the ministry center where we worked called us all Mr. or Miss and our first name, Miss Sarah. But as the boys got older, and became like family, they dropped the Miss. None of my boys called me Miss Sarah, except for Terry. He seemed to add that extra layer of respect, and I didn't correct him. I wasn't afraid in our neighborhood, and I wasn't disrespected many times. One of the few times I was by an older man from the neighborhood on the street while walking alone, Terry called out and let him know not to mess with me. I'm thankful for Terry and that I had the grace to know him, and love him and be a part of his story. Thank you for watching the video. Comment on what you thought of it. Rest in peace to the people whose lives were taken in the gang wars.
Facts. Seen that already. Hey, but I hope y'all enjoyed this. If there's anything else y'all want me to react to, I've seen all these. Watched all these. Did I see this? I think I seen this. Anyways, if there's anything else y'all want me to react to, leave it in the comments. And
got the heater, I'm the reaper. She like when I squeeze her, I'm a teaser. This word I go deep in. I've been thinking, glass swinging, gonna pedal my blood heavy man.